Hello and welcome to part 12 of the 1/350 scale hood built by Trumpeter. Well, by Trumpeter, built by me. So, I'll show you what we're at now. We've finished all these artillery guns on the front here are in place, along with the same on the back. We've got all the lifeboats set up and painted, all installed. Life rafts on the side here are all done. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty good. So now that finishes part 11, step 11 of the instructions. So as you can see, I've got everything ticked off on there. Even managed to put in the ladders. There's some ladders, 3 ladders that go down through the holes, go between the decks on that. They went in quite easy. And now we're on to step 12. Now these are putting together the bridge here, one of the control towers. So this section will go, I think, let me just check where we are. Will go on the front of the ship here, I think. Yeah. So we're up to this section on here. So we'll be building this and then building this section here. These are mainly the big section parts that go onto the superstructure here. And then we'll go on to the funnels, all of that. But what I may do is actually start on some of the photo etch railings that go around. Mainly because all the fiddly bits around on the deck are all done now. So I'm not going to have any chance of knocking or damaging any railings. So I could do them. Otherwise I could go ahead, build these pieces, put them aside, because they're all done separately until you get to the point in chapter 7, stage 17, where you just put them on. So they're all built separately and then you just put them on. So I could build them, and before I put them on, then do all the railings. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's coming on well now, and yeah, I'll show you what I've decided to do when we catch up and look at where we're at next. Okay, so I'll be back very, very soon. Okay, so we've started on the superstructure here, and so it's not stuck there yet. So we've got a couple of searchlights on here, photo etches put on. There's a stairway in there. I've also got 2 more sets of stairs that drop down and stick out the bottom here, but I'll leave them off for now, because then I won't be able to put this down without damaging them. This piece goes onto here, sits in there quite fine like that, but I have noticed there is a gap under there and not on the other side, so I'm guessing I may have to fill that. From watching other people build this model, this control tower does have a few fitting issues. I noticed putting down the frame and gluing that in, that one side sits in perfectly, but the other side just wouldn't sit flush against the where it was supposed to sit. And I thought, oh, well, how's that going to affect this piece that went on the end? But it turns out it was okay, even though it's not sitting right in up against on one side. This did mount on there perfectly, and there's no gap at all. But whether that will affect the structure as we go up, because there's going by the instructions here, there's a view of that. So there's quite a few layers as we build this up. So hopefully I'll keep it as tight as I can as we build it up. There's also photo etch. There's a couple of braces that will go on the bottom underneath, I think it's underneath this piece. Railings, of course, and there's a section across here that needs to be put on. And there's also an area where the windows that's showing here, they need to be filled. So it looks like the photo etch comes with the replacement for the windows. So I'll have a look how that is, because I know there's no clear plastic in this kit. So I'll work out how that's going to look. So yeah, I'll keep plodding along and continue with all the pieces that are mostly on this sprue here. Some more parts of it that'll come off. And as for the painting, of course I'll undercoat it all. I do think that the deck on the bottom of here can be seen, and it may be that deck brown. I need to just check on the paint guide, but if it is, I'll just brush paint that. Really save me a lot of time masking and everything else, so I'll just brush paint that on there. And as we go up, this piece goes on top. I think in there may also be the brown, and then from there on it's all grey. In that case, yeah, I'll also brush paint that as well. But that'll be after a primer coat over the whole thing. Okay, so I'll keep building this up and I'll show you a little bit further on in progress. Okay, so we're back and show you where I'm at. I've built up quite a bit. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, it froze. Hang on a sec, we've got to fix the camera. Okay, welcome back. This is where we've got so far. As you can see here, a lot of this tower is built. Photo etch in there, nice little pieces. It all went together quite well. There was one area that both sides above the windows on either side of here was a little bit of raised section which looked like it was part of the piece. I didn't question it, so I put it, I glued it down, and then when I put the top piece over the top, I noticed there's a gap, and then the gap is because that piece should have been trimmed off. It was obviously a bit of plastic that shouldn't have been there, so yeah, sometimes you've got to be careful. But it's glued down now, and even though there's a gap, it's an even gap all the way around, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a noticeable thing. If it was like one side a gap and the other side not, then that might be a problem, but otherwise it's really going to go pretty much unnoticed. So that's almost done. All I need now is to put on the radar unit, which is here, I've had to take off some of the plastic that was required and fill in the gaps. There was also two pieces that make up this, and they're pretty bad fit actually. There's a gap all the way around, so I've filled it all. I'll let that dry, and then I'll sand that back so it'll look fine. Then there's that piece, the longer one will sit on the top, and then the smaller piece there, that'll sit on the front, and then that whole unit will sit here on the tower. Is that right? Let's check the instructions here. Okay, so not yet. We've got a bit more to build. Yeah, there's a whole section going up on the top here, which that'll be a part of. And then there's this boom that runs across the top that's in photo etch. Now, the little bit of photo etch that came with the kit includes that piece, but it's in nowhere near as detailed as the actual Edard photo etch version of it, so I'll be using that piece. And same with these two pieces here, which are for that bit. The aftermarket stuff was much better. The Edard one's much better, so I'll be using it. No need for any of this at this point. So I'll continue working on this, and so we've done all the top. We're working on here. Now we're working on this part to finish, and then that'll be step 13 complete, and then number 14 will be the funnel, the two funnels. And then the base of the funnels will be after that. But let's get on with this first. The putty, I don't know if I showed this in my earlier videos, but I used Mr. White putty. It's straight out of the tube, goes on really easy, dries reasonably quick, doesn't shrink at all, saves mixing. I don't like, well, I've never used putty before, but there are ones where you've got to mix two parts. Don't want to do that, so I can use this straight out of the tube. Seems to be doing the job. Alright, so we're back shortly, and I'll show you where the next bit of progress has got us to. 1 second. Okay, so I've got a few pictures I took. The camera doesn't seem to be able to zoom in real close on small items, so I've got a picture here of some of the photo etch on the control tower there. All that area underneath was all put together as part of the support underneath and the radar on the top. This photo shows more of the braces all done underneath. All that photo etch has to be bent into shape and all glued down. There's the piece there with the crossbar along there, looking nice. And here we got the piece sitting on top. It went together quite well. Fortunately, I was a bit worried when I went to fit it, if it would all connect okay, but it was good. Good. So it's still in two pieces, and I'll be painting it in two pieces. But yeah, I'll be doing the smokestacks after this. So yeah, I'll get back and show you where we're at now. Okay, welcome back. Sorry, I've been having some video problems. The OBS software I'm using decides when it feels like it to detect my camera or when not to, and yeah, I completely messed up all the settings and had to redo it all. But anyway, I'm back, and I lost some footage I recorded earlier. Well, I didn't lose it. It was recording my voice from both the microphone I have here and the built-in microphone on the webcam, causing an echo right through everything I was saying, so that ruined all that. So anyway, I'll get on with this because I don't want it to drop out. So I've done the towers here, the smokestacks, and they're looking quite good. The photo etch and the pipes, it's all painted on the inside black. So I've got two of those. There's a building here with some photo etch on it. It's looking good too. That's goes on the deck below one of the stacks. It actually goes onto the side of this, which has photo etch around it, and so that will sit on one end, and then there's another little building here which will sit on the other end. So that's coming on good. Now I'm up to let's have a look. Well, I've got to put the tops on the top of the stacks here, so photo etch, so I'll glue those on, and then pretty much putting these on. One will go on here, the other one still needs the base to be built, which is all, get a view of this. The glare's pretty bright here. Get you to see that. So yeah, a lot of all this, but there's a lot of little bits. I need to do a couple more little lifeboats that need to be put on here. There's life rafts to be put on here. Yeah, just a couple little extra little pumps that sit on the roof of this building need to be put on. So there's little fiddly bits to be done on this before we finish step 15, and then head over the page to 16. So there's another control tower. Sorry, brightness. There's another control tower there to be built, which goes at the other end of the ship up here. Go there, and then after that, looks like most of those pieces with the smokestacks will be put onto the top of the ship, and then there's a crane to be built. We should get a fair bit done today. We're getting close. Obviously I haven't started on the turrets yet, and I'm looking forward to that because I've got the detail kit from Trumpeter for the barrels for that as well, so they should look nice on there. I've also got the propellers to go on as well. I don't know if I showed it or not, but in here we have these towers were finished. Oh yes, I showed the photographs. You would have seen the photographs. I did a bit of a slideshow. So yeah. So anyway, so that's about it for part 12. The next part will focus on putting the smokestacks on and the structures under them all on, and probably building there's even more little life rafts and bits and pieces, searchlights and so forth to go on this second area here too. So there's a fair bit to go. That'll be in part 13 we'll be up to. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below, ask a question below, offer some advice below, whatever. Like the video if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to follow along. I was going to, and I may still, upload a separate video of a previous build unboxing I did, but I never actually covered the build of that model. So what I might do is, between now and the next part 13, I might put a video up of a submarine build I did. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if we can put that together. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.